Hello everybody, Shrouded Hand here. It's another one of those episodes. I'm going to be looking at a selection of strange and creepy news stories from around the world. So let's just jump right in. Man was awake and conscious when his face caught fire during surgery, lawsuit says. The family of an Oregon man who suffered from severe burns after his face caught on fire during surgery is suing the hospital for $900,000. December of 2022, John Michael Murdoch, 52, was undergoing a procedure as part of his treatment for a squamous cell carcinoma, a cancer of the tongue. He checked into the Oregon Health and Science University Hospital for a tracheostomy to have a breathing tube inserted into his throat. Part of the preparation for that surgery involved his face being swabbed with isopropyl alcohol for sterilization, but when the alcohol wasn't given enough time to dry, his face caught on fire when it came into contact with a surgical tool that emitted a spark. Murdoch lived for 6 more months after the incident before succumbing to cancer. Whilst the burns caused by the fire were not cited as his cause of death, a lawsuit filed in December 2024 said that Murdoch suffered greatly and lived with disfiguring scars and other traumatic wounds to his face that never fully healed before he died. The lawsuit stated that Murdoch was awake and conscious during the fire. It sounds like his final years on Earth were pretty miserable. Facial burns and, horrific. Nice grim story to start the episode off with. So what else we got? Arrest warrant describes behaviour of man accused of riding past church with a sex toy on a helmet. A man was arrested for yelling profanities and wearing a helmet with a sex toy attached to it as he rode by a church. State police identified the man as 52-year-old Jason Mitchell. There he is. Witnesses told them that Mitchell yelled profanities whilst on his bike. They also said he wore a helmet with a dildo on it. So here's his arrest warrant here. It was reported that a male was riding a bicycle past church repeatedly with an
artificial male appendage
attached to his helmet and yelling and screaming. Whilst en route, it was reported that the male was Jason Mitchell, and who state police are familiar with after having responded to the area multiple times over the past several months for similar complaints of concerning behaviour. So he's got a history of doing this sort of thing, right? He is known to the community because he frequently rides around in the early hours naked with a cowboy hat, although I've never seen that. I was alarmed by his behaviour. Mitchell was exhibiting concerning behaviour, such as riding his bike in the early hours of the morning whilst naked, creating a bonfire in his yard whilst naked, altering state signs in front of his house to include offensive language, retrieving items from his neighbour's trash whilst naked, and getting into verbal altercations with his neighbours. There's some redacted information here. Yeah, a concerning gentleman, I think. Mitchell told troopers that he was trying to recreate a German helmet that his grandfather wore during World War II. Okay. I can see why they called the police. Got a bit of a Chris Packham look to him there. Ghost captured on Ring doorbell on house in middle of nowhere. A chilling piece of Ring doorbell footage has left people spooked after being shared on the Ghosts of London Facebook group. A recent submission features footage from a Ring doorbell at a secluded property nestled in the woods. At first glance, everything appears normal, but upon closer inspection, a white figure can be seen wandering in the background. What's going on? Why is the video unavailable? Let's see if I can find it somewhere else. Maybe the mirror. The video seems to be no longer... Let me see if I can find it. Tell you what I'll do. Top tip for anyone trying to find things like this. Just copy paste a bit of text. So apparently this person said this, so we're just gonna... Yeah, I want to see this footage now. Alright, I think this might be it. Oh, is this it? Something weird about the way they're walking. Like something unnatural about that movement. Like a bit floaty. It's very odd. This is what it reminds me of. Sometimes I get this problem when I'm trying to animate something in a video. If I've got a sort of a figure that is walking and I try to move them across the scene at the same pace that they're walking, sometimes I don't quite get it right and it kind of looks like the feet are sliding across the floor slightly. That's kind of what it makes me think of. It's almost like they're sliding across the floor a bit too fast for their feet movements or something like that. It looks weird. Here's a Reddit post here. Just moved into the middle of nowhere. I've gotten a creepy vibe at times, but this is unsettling. There are no neighbours around my house. It is on a fenced hill that makes it impossible to get up to and is surrounded by forests. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't immediately say this was anything paranormal. If it is real, then it probably is someone walking around. But if it is the middle of nowhere and there's no reason that someone should be up there in the middle of the night, it's still kind of unsettling. Hikers make spine-chilling discovery after looking back at selfie from mountain trail. A seemingly innocent selfie taken by some hikers on a mountain has caused a frenzy online after people noticed an additional face that some believed to be a spirit or ghost. The image had been shared on the Ghosts of London Facebook group. Again, whoever's writing these news articles is just combing through the Ghosts of London Facebook group and turning them into articles. I mean, I can't really say much, can I? I'm combing through the articles and then turning them into videos, so... Anyway, a friend of mine sent me this picture from his group of friends in Chile. The snap shows 2 men and 3 women crowding around each other to take a selfie with some other people coming up the mountain pass in the background. It seems totally innocent until you look between the woman on the left and the woman in the middle. Between their 2 faces appeared to be a 6th ghostly figure. Yeah, there's the face. Very creepy. I know that psychologically the human mind is hardwired to see faces, so I mean this could be like some of the girl's hair, like the hair here is kind of going this way, or the folds in his clothing behind, making it look like a face. It's a creepy image. It reminds me of those old shipwrecks pictures, if you remember that meme. A simpler time on the internet. Dad can't make sense of what he's seeing on son's baby cam. Goosebumps. This video doesn't seem to be actually anything to do with the article. It's just a random video of a bit of dust going across the room. I don't know what that's got to do with anything. So yeah, here's the actual article. A parent was left with goosebumps when they looked at their baby cam, which some Reddit users are saying shows a ghost speaking with their young child. Let's actually go to the actual post rather than the article itself, because it might be interesting. We can see who actually posted it. Young Sweppy. I woke up to my son babbling and seen this on his camera. I took a picture and went in the room expecting someone. It was gone. The only time I've ever been scared in my home. This happened a little while back and I still get goosebumps thinking about it. What on earth is that? It could always just be something in the background here. If you don't think of this as a face and just think that there's like, I don't know, a teddy bear here or some clothing, there's maybe a ball on the floor and then something making a shadow here, so it kind of looks like a head and face. Nevertheless, a very creepy image. Reminds me of that, what's that picture from, I always see a gif of it, this one here, The Taking of Deborah Logan. That's what the face reminds me of. Anyway, so I know these videos are a bit more light-hearted, but this one's pretty grim, to be honest with you. Mom and grandma blame ghosts after toddlers test positive for fentanyl. 2 women in Newton, North Carolina are facing criminal charges after being accused of causing severe injury in 2 toddlers in their care. The defense is citing paranormal activity as the cause. Emily Marie Edwards and her mother, Sheree Jean Edwards, were arrested on August 16th following a grand jury indictment on 2 counts each of a felony child abuse causing serious bodily injury. Court documents said that a 1-year-old and a 2-year-old suffered multiple injuries including burns, bite marks and broken bones. Additionally, both children tested positive for fentanyl. When questioned by the Newton Police Department, the Edwards women reportedly said that the injuries were the result of evil spirits within their apartment in Newton. So according to the Newton police chief, the women mentioned that they'd been using a Ouija board, which is used to attempt to communicate with spirits, and suggested that injuries were inflicted by these spirits during nightmares the children experienced. They heard the kids yelling and went over to find injuries on them. They claimed that spirits in the house were responsible for these injuries. The indictment accuses the women of acting with a reckless disregard for life and failing to report the extensive injuries observed on the toddlers. I'm interested to see if there's any more information here. I'm going to just put their names into Google and see I found a picture of the two, but it doesn't seem to be much more information online about this case. Yeah, pretty disturbing, but nevertheless very bizarre, and I thought I would include it. Nightmare. Your dreams are for sale and companies are already buying. This one interested me, and I will tell you why when going through it. A shocking new survey reveals that 54% of young Americans report ads infiltrating their dreams. A new study reports that 54% of young Americans report experiencing dreams influenced by ads, and some companies might be doing it intentionally. The findings come at a critical time, as the American Marketing Association previously reported that 77% of companies surveyed in 2021 expressed intentions to experiment with dream ads by this year. The phenomenon isn't merely passive. The survey reveals that these dream-based advertisements may be influencing consumer behavior in tangible ways. While 2/3 of consumers report resistance to making purchases based on their dreams, the other third admit that their dreams have encouraged them to buy products or services over the past year. A conversion rate that rivals or exceeds many traditional advertising campaigns. Over 2/3 of respondents indicated that they would not be willing to pay to keep their dreams ad-free, even if such a technology existed. However, a significant minority expressed interest in a hypothetical dream ad blocker. The research comes in the wake of dream researchers issuing an open letter warning the public about corporate attempts to infiltrate dreams with advertisements. Sparked by Coors Light's experimental campaign that achieved notable success. What is this? I never heard of this before. This should be front page news, surely. Coors pull from inception to insert brand into dreams before Super Bowl. So Molson Coors is taking an unconventional approach to its advertising, applying the science of targeted dream incubation to get people to dream its big game ad during the lead up to the game day. The brewer partnered with psychologist Deirdre Barrett to develop a film that uses audio-visual stimuli intended to generate particular images and sensations in the viewer's subconscious. Participants also listen to an 8-hour soundscape throughout the night as they sleep that will ostensibly trigger a version of the ad. Okay, so it sounded like people had to opt into it. They had to watch certain videos and then listen to an 8-hour soundscape whilst they slept to actually induce the dreams. But where it goes from there is probably the worrying thing. Anyway, the reason why this interested me is because I made a post on Twitter about, I want to try and find it to prove. Yeah, so here we go. I posted in September of 2024. Proof right on my timeline. Anyone else wake up every morning with a Temu song on a loop in their head? I'm sure that song has some post-hypnotic suggestions hidden in it. I was ahead of the curve here because for a long time, every morning I would wake up with the song from the Temu ads in my head, just on a loop, over and over again, and I'm sure that I was dreaming about it before I woke up. So yeah, the idea that they can insert adverts into your dreams does not seem far-fetched to me. I feel like I've been an unwilling participant in this experiment already. Appealing. Mystery of bananas appearing on Nottinghamshire Street. A mysterious reappearing plate of bananas in Beeston, Nottinghamshire has left local residents confused. On a second day of each month, 16 to 20 peeled bananas are left out on the corner of Abbey Road and Windsor Avenue in Beeston. The fruity deposit has been arriving for over a year, and so far no one knows where the bananas come from or why they are left there. I mean, if they appear on the same day of the month, every month, then surely it'd be quite easy to find out who's doing it. Just wait around and see who leaves them there. I've been asking around in the local community, but no one really knows and no one can tell me anything, said resident Claire Short. The bananas appear early in the morning on the 2nd of the month. I see them on my way to work. I'd love to know the answer to this. The bananas have now become a cultural landmark on Google Maps. Hold on, let me see. Get me on Google Maps right now. Let's see this. Okay, no, I don't see any bananas on the map. They're lying to me. Plate of bananas. Google Maps couldn't find a plate of bananas. Ah. Puzzled locals have wondered if it's a prank or an offering and have mixed feelings about the fruity platter. They are very annoying. I have no idea why they're here. The bananas are clearly just bought and the wildlife doesn't touch them. They go mouldy. It's gross. One local resident, Claire Short, put up a sign last year to encourage the bananas not to be left out. However, on the 2nd of January, another plate of peeled bananas appeared on the usual spot. Here's the sign. Please respectfully, no more bananas. The uncollected plates and rotting bananas leave such a mess. Wishing a happy new year to you all. I've come to take the signs down because I don't really want to make it like a feud. I don't want it to become a big thing. I think it's a special thing for someone and I wish them well. But if they could come back and clean up the mess a few days later, that would be lovely. I feel like this is something to do with fairies. I don't know why. It's giving me fairy vibes, this. Someone's had an encounter with something otherworldly. It's asked them to leave a plate of bananas out, and they've done it every month without fail. Gnomes, fairies, it's something like that. I got a feeling in my bones. Someone round here is leaving bananas out. You know what story that reminds me of, actually? There's a similar story that keeps popping up on my timeline and it always amuses me. The Hellraiser bus stop. So there's a bus stop in southeast London. A weathered copy of the gruesome horror film Hellraiser on VHS has sat on top of the southeast London bus stop for years. Every time the VHS was taken down, another one would spring up in its place. Sometimes 2 copies would lie there, staring menacingly out as you gazed through the foggy bus window. So apparently it's the bus stop on Old Kent Road / East Street. So after hosting between 1 to 9 copies of the video since approximately 2011, including periods where they disappeared and then came back, the bus stop was replaced this summer with a new style, taller shelter. Happy to report that you can't keep a good urban mystery down. A new video appeared last week, so it keeps coming back. Ah, look, there we go. Is that one? I think that might be one. Going back through the dates here. Is that one there? That might be it. There's some tapes on there. I'm going back through the years on Google Street View, and I'm not finding many years where there's a VHS tape on there. Oh, there we go. Look, 2015. There's like 4 tapes up there. Looking at the actual area, you can see how it wouldn't be too difficult to get something on top of there. I mean, it wouldn't be anyway, but you know, the fact that it's overlooked by these flats here. So yeah, 2015 seems to be... Oh no, look at this, 2014. Yeah, this is the bus stop right here. And you can see how they, over the years, you can see how they changed. So we're going all the way back to 2012, and there's something up there. I don't know if that is a VHS tape. Apparently they started appearing in 2011, so... Yeah, 2008 we're going back to. Completely clear. Fine. 2015 seems to be the peak as far as Google Street View is concerned. London's Hellraiser VHS mystery has been solved. I kind of don't want to read this. I kind of like the mystery. An anonymous radio caller admits to maintaining the exhibition that appeared mysteriously on bus shelters. So Radio 4 got in touch with us to give us a heads up. Someone has come forward to shed a little light on the mystery. Although the confessor has chosen to remain anonymous, a nameless caller revealed why he or she became fascinated by the first Hellraiser VHS and adding more cassettes to bus shelters all over South London. Who left the original Hellraiser VHS on top of the bus stop is not really explained, but apparently they used to see the VHS on there on their way to work, and then they got the idea to start the 21 on 21 project. The concept is simple: 21 copies of the Hellraiser VHS to be made visible on the 21 bus route. However, not every mystery has been solved, namely who was behind the initial Hellraiser tape. I don't know how or why that first Hellraiser appeared. I'm kind of sad that the mystery has been solved, but there you go. On video, alleged ghost caught among Christmas decorations. The home security camera captured the entire moment that allegedly happened around 3:15 AM. So yeah, this is a TikTok video, of course it is. Yeah, okay, so I'm guessing it's these toys here. I have one almost exactly like that under my Christmas tree at Christmas. My God, it's moving. I mean, the biggest problem is that you can't see the bottom of it. Who knows? It could very easily just someone with their hands down here. I doubt that that's really a ghost animating a Christmas decoration. I could be wrong here, but my spidey senses are tingling. Okay, we'll finish off with this. Always got to include a gnome story, so here we go. Dutch police discover visibly startled garden gnome made entirely of MDMA. The gnome weighed 2 kilograms, equivalent to around 8,000 pills. Dutch police said they came across something special in a recent drugs bust in the southern Netherlands earlier this month. A visibly startled garden gnome made entirely of MDMA was discovered among other narcotics during the drug bust. Calling it a strange place to keep your garden gnome, Dongamond police explained that they had decided to test the disguised lawn ornament for narcotics. Police said that the gnome itself, which appeared grey and of a stone texture, was visibly startled with his hands over his mouth. Yeah, there we go. There's the gnome. It seems very deliberate that this was the pose of gnome that they chose. Kind of covering his mouth like he's holding in a laugh, like he's got a little secret. Anyway, there you go, the MDMA gnome. Seems like a good place to end it, so thanks for tuning in. Some people like these more laid-back news stories videos, some people hate them, so there you go. If you're one of the people that enjoys these, then I hope you enjoyed this one, and stay tuned for more. Thank you to the patrons for the support, and we'll catch you next time, everybody. Goodbye.